They did it. This might just be the best TDS update of all time. After years of paintballer being memed on, and it being completely useless, known as the worst tower in TDS of all time, they finally buffed paintballer after 4 years, and now they buffed it so much it might just be the best early game tower in the game. It's just like ridiculous to think about how paintballer used to be the worst tower, and now they buffed it so much it might just be the best tower for speedrunning in early games. Like, if you look at the stats and DPS, they buffed its like max level DPS from 9 to 24, which is crazy to think that they buff it that much. And also they made the splash damage like huge, so it can like just decimate things. They finally added hidden detection to it, so it can now see hiddens. And its splash rate range at level 0 is so huge. Just to begin with, it can literally shred through the early game so fast. You can literally make it to wave 10 with just like one level 2 paintballer. And it'll like just a level 0 paintballer has such a big splash range that it can kill like 4 enemies at once in just one shot. It's like ridiculously OP. So the next tower that was buffed in this update was the Demo Man. Now the Demo Man was like decent before this update. It wasn't that good, but it was outclassed by other splash damage towers like the Mortar and Grenadiers. But now they buffed it significantly, so it's a really good choice for beginners in speedrunning Molten. So first, at level 0, the price changed from 400 to 575. The damage increased from 4 to 6. The fire rate slightly decreased, and then the range stayed the same, but the explosion radius increased from 2.75 to 3.5. The DPS increased from 1.45 to 2.3. Next, at level 1, damage increased from 4 to 6, and then the DPS pretty much stayed about the same at level 1. But at level 2, the damage increased from 8 to 10. The fire rate increased from 2.5 to 2.2. The DPS increased from 3 to 4. At level 3, the damage increased from 12 to 18. The fire rate decreased from 1.5 to 1.7. So the DPS in total on level 3 increased from 7.9 to 10. And level 4 received a huge buff out of all levels, going from 28 damage a shot to 50 damage a shot, but the fire rate did decrease from 1.2 to 1.5. But the explosion range increased from 4 to 4.5, and in total the DPS at max level increased from 23 to 33. After that, we have the Hunter. Now the Hunter also received a huge buff. Now at max level it does 120 damage a shot, which is huge. But first off, at level 0, the price changed from 500 to 750. The damage doubled from 4 to 8, and the fire rate decreased from 2.5 to 2.2, and the range increased from 17 to 18, increasing its DPS at level 0 from 1.59 to 3.54. After that, at level 1, the price increased by 200, damage increased by 4, and then the fire rate decreased by 0.1. In total, the DPS increased from 2.2 to 4.5. At level 2, the damage increased from 8 to 14. The fire rate decreased from 1.8 to 1.75. The range increased from 20 to 22, and the DPS increased from 4.4 to 7.5. After that, at level 3, the price increased a bit, and after that, the damage went from 16 to 36. The fire rate stayed the same, and the range increased from 22 to 25. The DPS increased from 9.9 to 22.39. And finally, the biggest buff of the Hunter was at max level, where the damage increased from 32 damage a shot to 120 damage a shot. The fire rate did decrease though from 1.4 to 2, but the range increased from 26 to 28, bringing the total DPS to 60 DPS for the max level hunter, which the old DPS at max level used to be only 22. So this might just be the biggest buff, although hunter now only has a placement limit of 12, so it sort of brings it down, but its DPS will make up for it. For the final buff of this update, they buffed the sniper, and now with this new sniper buff, the sniper is now way better than the scout if you're just starting out in the game. The sniper is now decently good, and you can now probably solo Mullen with just sniper as long as the map has enough lift space. Now for a look at the new stats for the sniper, at level 0, they buffed the fire rate from 4.5 to just 4, increasing the DPS from 0.8 to 1. At level 1, all they did was increase the fire rate from 4, and they increased the damage from 4 to 6, and then at level 2, the damage increased from 12 to 14. At level 3, the damage increased from 20 to 30, fire rate increased from 3.6 to 3.5, and then at max level, at level 4, the damage increased from 35 to 40, and the fire rate increased from 2.5 to 2, meaning at max level, DPS increased from 13 to 19. So it's a tiny bit better, but overall, if you're just starting out in the game, sniper is now much better than scout.